Hello guys, full time here at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Arsenal through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. That scoreline makes it sound rather routine. I'm not sure that's really quite a fair reflection of the game. I said after the Palace game that I didn't necessarily think it was a great one for the neutral. Not that Arsenal fans will care. Tonight probably was, because Arsenal were a lot more open than we're accustomed to seeing them. A lot more porous. You know, Brighton were running through the midfield, particularly in the first half, creating chances. But Brighton didn't take them, crucially. You know, at half-time, I really thought Brighton should be at least 1 or 2 goals ahead. Didn't happen, and Arsenal capitalised and took advantage, and our quality told in the end. Starting lineup probably explains that in part. It was a heavily rotated team. Only Eze kept his place. A number of young players in there. Ethan and Miles, obviously, we're used to seeing. Christian Mosquera, Davy Hincapié, brand new back four with White as well. Then, of course, 2 really eye-catching selections up top. Max Dowman, Arsenal's youngest ever starter, 15 years of age on the right-hand side. And Andre Harriman-Anous getting the nod at centre-forward. That was a real surprise, I think. You know, I think we all expected Gyökeres might get a rest, but we were looking maybe at Marino, maybe at Trossard to take up that spot. It was Harriman-Anous making his first start too. And before we get into the game, we should just give those 2 young men a real pat on the back, because they performed, I thought, extremely well in the circumstances. This is a Premier League side they're going up against in Brighton. A lot of first-choice players out there, a lot of very good players out there. In Harriman-Anous's case, he's up against 3 senior centre-halves. Not an easy task. He acquitted himself well, might have got himself a goal. Timber played him in, didn't he, in the build-up to the second, but his shot was saved and Saka put the rebound away. What I liked, actually, Harriman-Anous, I think he was a bit annoyed at the miss, but when the ball hit the net from Saka, he celebrated with real gusto. He was all about the team tonight and showed a great attitude in that respect. Max Dowman, look, we know he's a top talent. We know he's a bit of a sensation, and he showed it tonight. Some of his touches were absolutely superb. He got a few kicks off the Brighton defenders as well, who I don't think were too amused by the fact that he was taking the mickey out of them at times. Some lovely driving runs into the box, but worked hard for the team too. I'll tell you one thing I really liked about him is playing on that right-hand side. We know him as a dribbler, we know him as a playmaker. You think he's always going to be attracted to the ball. What I really liked is how often he looked to run in behind. You know, when Ben White had the ball, when Nwaneri had the ball, he was making those kind of runs in behind. Mosquera was looking for him at times, stretching the play, stretching the defenders. I think that showed real maturity, as did his link-up play with Ben White. I think Ben White's just a great combination player. Whoever plays on that right-hand side for Arsenal benefits from his presence there, and there seems to be a natural chemistry between Dowman and White. They're both good players, I guess, at the end of the day. So in some respects this was Max Dowman's night, but let's not forget Arsenal's original record breaker, Ethan Nwaneri. He got the opening goal. As I say, Brighton had their chances in the first half. Kepa made a number of saves tonight, did really well, earned his clean sheet. Nwaneri scores the opener in the second half. Beautifully worked goal. Brilliant flick from Marino. Lewis Skelly tucks it back for his mate, and Nwaneri finishes well. That's what he does. He arrives in the box in those central areas. That's why they're picking him in central areas. And he's very composed and got great quality. Second goal, I think, was a lot about Julian Timber. Came on as a sub, driving run forward. Plays in Harriman-Anous, and there's Saka, like a predator, the experienced pro he is, picking the ball up and hammering it in for a second. That sealed the game. Arsenal keep another clean sheet. As I say, I don't think it tells the full story. We looked a bit more ragged defensively than we have at times. Mosquera was called into action with a couple of great blocks. He also, I think, gave the ball away on one occasion. Norgard gave the ball away, putting us under pressure. Brighton were a threat, and they were running through midfield, very athletic, very powerful in there. But Kepa was on his game, and we were able to keep them at bay. And the quality told in the end, and we're through to the quarterfinals. Liverpool out tonight. Spurs, I'm happy to say, out tonight. Aaron Ramsdale keeping a clean sheet against them. So Newcastle go through. City go through. There's some good teams still in the draw. Let's hope they're about to make the draw, I think. Maybe at St James's Park. Now that tie's over. I think a home tie is what we really want, right? A home tie, I think, gives us the best chance. We don't want to be going away to your Cities or your Newcastles or even your Chelseas. I'd love to see us back here at the Emirates Stadium, and maybe we might see some of these young players again. Maybe we'll see Max Dowman again. Total rest for Victor Gyökeres tonight. That could be really beneficial to him. I think he'll play all 3 games we've got coming up in the next 10 days or so. Yeah, good night all round. Mosquera, I really think, continues to look quality, and Capier, very aggressive. I like what I saw from him. I do wonder if Gabriel Heinze sees a bit of himself in him. Very aggressive left-sided defender. There seems to be a bit of a rapport between those two, and some parallels in playing style, certainly. Nwaneri gets his goal. Eze, sorry, I'm still getting used to that. I know someone picked me up on it in the comments. He played off the left tonight, had moments. I wonder, will he start at Burnley, or will Mikel Arteta look to mix it up, maybe with Leandro Trossard? Or I don't know. We shall have to wait and see. So, speaking of getting attention in the comments, thank you for all the feedback on my leopard print jacket from Saturday. For those of us, it was from Top Man. I don't know if you were asking because you want to go and buy it, or because you want to have the store shut down. My favourite comment was the guy who said, James with that Tiger Who Came to Tea drip. If, like me, you've got young kids, you'll know all about that book, The Tiger Who Came to Tea. I'll leave it there, guys. It's only the Carabao. 6 minutes is plenty, isn't it? Fun night. Had the feeling a little bit of an Arsene Wenger Carabao night. Young players out there, open football, chances at both ends. And that Nwaneri goal and that Marino flick felt very Arsene Wenger to me. Marino doing his best Olivier Giroud impression, I thought, with that little deft flick to get the move going. I'll leave it there. Take care. All the best. And I'll speak to you all on Saturday after the Burnley game. Bye-bye. Oh, before I go, do subscribe to the channel if you don't already. I'm really close to 70,000. I'd love to push it over the edge. So let's do it. Maybe we'll do it tonight if you're all very nice and click that button. Ta-ta, bye.